Yes, Mondo revealed a ton of amazing things at DesignerCon 2023, and we are so lucky to have them join us tonight on a special, I guess this is our Christmas special edition of Toy Geeks. Everybody, and welcome to Toy Geeks. My name is Jay, and I am here tonight to hang out with some of our friends from Mondo. To kind of go over some of the reveals, some, if not all of the reveals from this year's DesignerCon. We talked a little bit about it on this past Sunday's show, but of course, we're big fans of Mondo here and friends with the Mondo Toys team, and they were kind enough to, take some time tonight to come hang out and talk about some of their reveals. They're waiting in the green room right now. Before I bring them on, I want to say hello to the chat. It is hopping. Even on a Thursday night, we are like in the throes of the holiday season. So whoop they do, dickory dock. Such a weird line. But anyway, we're here to hang out and talk toys tonight. We've got Space Cowboy, Charlie Weaver, Zach Kinsella, Nick Dillinger in the house, Ryan Dole. I know. I was gonna invite Ryan on to be with us tonight, but I was like, we've already hung out with these people over 2 of your shows this week, so I was like, you think they've had enough Dole? Now you can never have enough Dole. I'm just kidding. Charlie Squared, Jamie Von Dor, Alexian James, well hung banana hammocks. Now there's a name. B-Man, Doralaxian is here. James, Tom, Johnny Cock, Tony Taponi. I'll do Dorlaxian again. Tom Charlton, Juan Carlos Rodano, The Archive, Aaron E. Nichols, Studio Henge Kenton is here. Brian Carr, Bonehead, and let me keep moving. Toy Geekosaurus is here. James Sterling in the house. Adam E. Flasha. Boba Wave is here as well. Carlos Orozco, Rabbit McGavin in the house. Dan, Mr. Chris Bex, Whip is here. VCG Cosplay, 1-6 Shooter, and so many more. Thank you for coming to hang out with the Mondo crew. All right, enough of me hammering. Let's bring them on. We've got our first Mondo guest. You know him, you love him. It's Attack Peter. Welcome, welcome.
What's up, dude?
How's it going? You doing all right?
I'm doing good. Is anybody else back there?
There is. There's one more. We've got Alex.
What up?
How's it going?
How's it going, man? Thanks for having us.
Yes. I could have probably that's too close. Oh. No, that's too much. Is that too much? We'll just go back to this.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah. It's like this. It's weird when it's just 3 because there's just dead space.
Yeah, but you get to see a little bit of the fun living room there.
Oh, you're right. Yes. We got
like
the fire.
It's the vibe.
Yeah, we're crackling in the background.
The fire rises.
The fire. So delightful. Yeah, if I was playing this well, I would have had a door dasher have knock on your doors right now and the hot cocoa.
Like you have a little who's back there? Who's knocking on the door? You know, the door sound effect.
I may still have here it is. Yeah, I still have this for the last time we did a Christmas special and a special guest came in. I should have done it before, but here we go. I'll play it anyway.
Ooh. Send us back and bring us back in. It's worth it.
Okay, yeah, here, hold on. Here we go. Okay. Oh, wait. There's somebody at the there's 2 people at the door. Let's bring them in. Oh,
Silver Bells.
It's Attack Peter and Alex.
It's Christmas. Lisa. No, we're Christmas caroling.
Well, he's doing the David Bowie bit from where that one is from.
From that thing that he does.
I love it so much. I think I've always thought that was a weird and awesome Christmas special, but then the Will Ferrell and
John C. Reilly
did it beat for beat exactly the same.
What's your top Christmas movie that every year you watch a bunch of movies, but there's one you must watch or it doesn't feel right?
Ooh. Okay.
Doesn't even have to be favorite. Just mean the one that you need to see.
Cheesy, corny, but it's my soul rejuvenation is,
what it is.
Wonderful Life is my
okay.
Wonderful Life.
Nice.
That one counts. Alex?
I mean, I gotta say Muppet Christmas Carol.
That's a good one too.
But
That's in my.
I got two modern ones. I gotta throw in there. Arthur Christmas and Klaus are both.
What's
like,
Klaus?
Oh, I've
Klaus
heard
is
of
on
Klaus.
Netflix. It's like a hand-drawn.
Oh yeah,
TV.
it's good. It's good.
Really good.
Yeah, I do. Christmas Story is a big one for me,
Yes,
and
love Christmas Story.
yeah, that's a big one. And then Home Alone is up there too. But Muppet Christmas Carol is
Yeah,
I got.
the
so
best.
good.
Yeah, it's a good
It's a
one.
Wonderful Life on VHS, black and white. The only way to do it.
Nice.
I feel like, yes, everybody loves Muppet Christmas Carol, and I love it too. But we got to give love to Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Yeah,
I do watch that. I love that.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
That was
Also-
probably my first Christmas Carol.
I think me too.
Yeah, Mickey.
Yeah, the Simpsons Christmas episodes I'm big
Oh,
on.
that's
I like.
we play that
And you know,
one.
they'll do a playlist on Disney Plus from time to time, but they're hit and miss with it. Like someone's messing up. Like that is such a perk of that app. Hey, all the Christmas episodes right here. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, how about this?
Oh yeah, of course.
you
That
gotta
one.
do that.
Sometimes that one's triggering though, because like I watched that one, and as I get older, when I was younger, I used to be like really stressed out about how obnoxious the visiting family was and all that.
As we all are, right?
And now, as I'm getting older, it's Clark that bums me out. I'm like, dude, you're so incompetent, dude, and it's like an aggressive incompetence too.
Wow,
Like,
that's his whole shtick.
I know, but what I'm saying is like, it's that boomer generation thing where, and like the trauma those kids are enduring in the backseat, I'm feeling it immediately. I didn't feel it as a kid, but like, no, my God, I remember this.
Just takes you back, right?
Yeah,
Like, "No, I don't like
too
it.
real, too real.
Oh my God. Well,
Clark.
Did Dcon arrive this close to Christmas last time?
No, this is new. So last year we were at DesignerCon at the usual time of the year. It was like it's always like a week before Thanksgiving, actually.
Right, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, and so last year the show happened, and it happened to be running concurrent with two other conventions. Complex Con was the big one, which if you don't know is like the sneakerhead hype show. And there's a lot of overlap in the audience there for DesignerCon with all the, for folks that don't know, DesignerCon has like major roots in designer vinyl toys. So like one-offs and like hand painted stuff and, art toys essentially. So there's that a lot of crossover there.
Yeah.
And there was another anime show happening at the same time in LA, I believe, if I got that right or wrong, but it was so much overlap and they couldn't get out of the target. So they moved to December for this year, but next year they go back to their old date, but in Vegas, which Jay, you've always said, toys, Vegas, Reese's store, sign me up.
It's a perfect marriage.
So,
and is it the weekend before Thanksgiving?
Toys, Vegas, ayahuasca trip, and the Joshua tree. You've always said that. You've always said that. This is it.
You know what? You got to hold me to it, okay?
Yeah. We'll see some UFOs.
Should we live stream the ayahuasca trip?
We'll just say you're streaming, and you'll just be like screaming into the void, and I'll be filming you like I filmed Mad Hatter on that like live review he was doing.
Oh, I got to move that video over because that is hilarious. All right. Well, you all have been really busy. I feel like PowerCon just happened, and there were things that you revealed as just renders at that show that you had in real life this weekend at DesignerCon 2023. And you had a few showstoppers, but I could argue that the Rogue was the most showstoppery of showstoppers. I feel like just people were blown away by this figure. Alex, congratulations, because
thanks.
I guess just walk us through from when we saw it in renders at PowerCon to actually having it as a real physical thing here at this show a few months later.
Well, just so you know, before Alex, you get into it, there's a lot of photos that both Toy Shiz and what's his name, Hatter, took from the other side of this figure that never made it onto their website. I don't know what they were doing, but go ahead, Alex.
I will say this and Tila.
You guys are getting a little sweaty, nerd sweats.
And I'm trying. This is a family-friendly show,
so settle down.
Also, not trying to be gross and whatever, But yeah, there's definitely.
you know,
Whatever. So go, Alex. Go.
it is the character. I will say that
Yeah, it's
it
true. It's true
does,
to the character. Yes.
yeah. Hopefully it satisfies all the things that the character is known for, right? So
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, to answer your question, so this is sort of the process. You know, when we go from a digital sculpt, the next step is like 3D printouts. So we get like just a plain, not colored 3D printout
Yeah.
from the factory. We send that to somebody to do a paint master, an artist to do a paint master, and this one was done by Tom Rosiowski, who goes by Zelu 1984
Yes.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, very talented. He's
Yeah.
done a bunch of stuff for us. Does like a lot of our animated stuff. So
Yeah.
he did the paint master of Rogue, and then that gets sent back to production, and they reproduce what was done on the paint master, and then it's a back and forth of sending. And so what this is, the stage that this is at, is the next stage after paint master, where this is actually like a production sample, I believe. So this is like a pretty far along in the development of Rogue.
I don't know how, and this is, I think we're with Jonathan from Nostalgia Unboxed, we're talking about on Sunday. Like, I just don't know, like the hair, like Rogue, you could say there's a few features in Rogue that are so essential, the animated Rogue, but the hair is, I think, the most important part. And just your ability to somehow, and I've seen a bunch of rogues that are great rogues, or perfectly fine rogues, but how did you make the hair just have that flow that makes it seem like it's floating in midair? Like, I think that's just absolutely incredible.
Well, it's like, so hair is, I think it's actually like an essential part of a likeness. So even though this is a cartoon character, it's like it's drawn, the animation is done to a model sheet. So like, we are very familiar with that like silhouette, and so like getting that silhouette right helps it read as this specific version of Rogue. And the hair is a like complex piece, because there's like, so basically, like I have like the model sheets from the original show, which has like a side view, front view, back view, and like every strand I made sure was like in place, right?
Yeah.
That provides some challenges because like, it has to be able to be moldable, and you can't have like undercuts with a mold. You have to be able to pull the piece out of the big steel mold for production.
Yes.
And so her hair had to be broken up into like 7 or 8 different pieces that all get molded individually and then reassembled in production. Wow. So it's one of those nice things where, because this is a premium figure, we can offer that level of accuracy, where if you look at like some other versions of Rogue, it's more about like creating like the illusion of all the little flyaway wispy strand pieces and stuff. Like you'll see it's like like some of the Marvel Legends, it might be like 3 sections, and so you get those flyaways, but you're not getting exactly how it is in the animated series.
So is it the premium aspect of it, or is also the scale, like this is a larger scale, affords you that space to do that?
Right, because you also have to worry about like the thickness of parts and like wall thickness, and all the parts have to be able to like fit together, right? And if you're at a smaller scale, sometimes those bits get just too thin for production to hold up. So yeah, I mean it is just I'm very blessed to see my work translated at this scale, like nice and big and vivid, and like just exactly how you imagine it when you're sculpting it.
And the thing is like, and I don't think I have a picture of her butt, speaking of thickness, but it's just like I even think it was Toy Shiz's video, I think, panned to the backside.
For anybody watching, whose video featured more of what you wanted to see? Was it Toy Shiz's or was it Mad Hatter's? Because Mad Hatter went pretty hard.
Yes, he did. Yes,
he did. Although I haven't seen any that have like really captured it accurately. Like I don't know if it's like camera angle, camera lens. But,
Sure. Well, I think there is the classic the scene. It's in so many like memes and stuff. And when you're sculpting a figure that, and because you did this, I guess Alex, you didn't do the Wolverine, I don't think, right? Right?
I didn't do the first Wolverine. That we put
but
out.
That was, I think, the whole packaging and everything was around that meme. But like when you're sculpting a toy that also, and there's so many X-Men memes, but that is so iconic just from a meme perspective, or is it like, do you factor that, or do you even? I mean, I guess you all have, right? But like, how do you factor that in when you're designing a figure?
Absolutely, and certainly like with this character, with this figure, like you want to keep it respectful, like there's all kinds of Rogue fans out there. Don't want to like alienate anyone, right?
Yeah.
But you also want to like celebrate all the things that people love about the character and everything in the culture, and I think that's something I love about Mondo and the like ethos behind Mondo, and that that is characterized by that Wolverine in bed with the picture frame. Like, it's like it is taking like an adult modern day view of these characters we grew up with. So it's acknowledging the audience and the fan base through the product.
I don't think anybody was doing that kind of packaging before that, and I feel like I've seen a couple of things come up since then, but it's just proof that, like, to Alex's point, we're thinking about not only your fandom but your sensibilities. And I think that there are so many people I talk to who never took it out of the box because it's the whole scene that makes it the collectible for them.
Absolutely. And,
this Rogue, to me, I don't know about you guys, like Rogue to me just so simple, like the colors of the suit, her hair, the whole thing. She's just so 90s in the best way possible. And it just, having her in the collection, to me, just takes the X-Men and me, like, it's her and Omega Red to me are the two that do it. And I just immediately can feel like I'm back in a comic book store, 10 years old, waiting in line for Spawn #1. It's just like, there's something about those two characters. They were not even my favorite characters, but they are like these visual portals back to it for me.
Yeah. Well, and those Toy Biz figures too.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Like, one of the greatest moments is when you see the images coming back from the factory and you're like, oh, there it is. It's like, there it is in person. And you get that feeling of like, oh, it looks just like the first time I saw this in KB Toy Store as a kid. Like, because it's the colors, it's the shapes,
Yeah. And we've been talking about that too. We'll talk a little bit more when we get to TMNT, but there's something about seeing the animated series in 6 scale that it calls back to how the figures felt in your hand when you were a small kid. Yeah. And when you were a small kid, these figures felt very robust and very like dynamic. And you get older, your eyes get better, your obviously your hand gets bigger, and your
eyes get better, but
you're more discerning of detail, let's say.
Sure, yes.
Your eye
and so, but these figures now capturing that aesthetic in this bigger size and the scale, it's a way to get that sensibility, that sense back, like feeling how they're like, whoa, these things in your hands.
Yeah, and something that is kind of controversial within toy collecting is cell shading, or having that animated shading look. But you're gonna start throwing bombs at McFarlane this early in the stream? No, I'm not. Okay, I'm just saying.
Peace and love, dude.
Much like you have I feel like this is a strong feminine portrait, but it's not being outlandish, or it's not changing proportions that make it absurd. But I think what you've done well too with the shading is just like it's just a nice little like taste, just kind of makes it seem like it is a piece of animation that, oh my god, it's in 3 dimensions. How do you thread that needle to have that feel of animation, but not being like, oh god, it only looks good in one angle?
Yeah, we do. Well, and it's true, we don't want to be like overbearing with it, because we know it's not everyone's cup of tea. But
it's
at
also
the same
not the star
time,
of the show. It's just it's a supporting it's not the star of the show. It's like one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah,
right.
But go ahead.
and I've heard, people, say like, oh, just let the lighting do the
Yeah.
But I think that certainly for like for Rogue, like you can see those like black areas on her costume, on the green part of her costume, that's supposed to be kind of like a shininess. It's not like patterns on the, like if we didn't have those on there, if we just left it green, it wouldn't look right. Like there would be something off about it.
Yeah.
So that's like one example where like matching the animation is sort of important in that way. But then also I'll say that when you see these in person, and again, it's because of the scale, because of the size of this. I think sometimes like, the cell shading that gets a bad rap is the stuff that's done at a smaller scale at mass retail, where it's being printed onto like
that's
bare
why
plastic.
that's
Whereas
why
this is like a fully painted figure. And when you get it in hand, it's like a work of art. Like you really appreciate the artistry of the show, of the artists that worked on those shows back in the day, that had to understand lighting and color theory and all that. And it's the artistry of the painters and the production people who create these figures.
How you sell shade so well, and can you tell McFarlane?
It's funny because I was watching that stream where they were talking about it, and look, it's not ideal, but it's also, that's the point of when we are explaining to people. We used to laugh at people who saying, oh, it's a big Marvel legend. I'm like, it's actually a reaction to those figures, because we all as collectors want those representations. That's why we're excited or disappointed or whatever when they come out. But the point is, when you're creating, remember, those guys are making so many figures to go to mass, right? It's a different thing. And like Alex was talking about, the reason that they can charge less and this is because they know they're selling much, much more units, theoretically, hopefully for them, right?
Yeah.
And so, but they also, like Alex is saying, that they're kind of like on a conveyor belt or an assembly line where it's like
exactly.
So they're
playing by different rules, essentially.
Well, they can't paint the whole figure either. It's like it has to be, they have to use as much of the bare plastic as they can. Whereas these, it's all fully painted.
Yeah. And so the idea is that when people do want to know a major difference, I mean, besides the obvious when you see the figures, it's that there's less of them because they're more expensive, right? So less people are going to be able to pick them up.
Yep.
But since there's less of them, there's more quality control. There's more like high touch, hand painted, like Alex says, so you can get subtlety. And I want to give Alex a compliment that I paid him on Toy Anxiety, but just in case anybody wasn't watching, going back to art school, right? Learning how to draw, it's a meme like among drawing students that guys have a difficult time depicting the female face form. It's either very, 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 hard edge and like it looks kind of like barbarian-esque, right? Or it's just way, way, way too soft and cutesy or overly sexualized, right?
Yep.
And there's like, it's hard for some reason, male artists tend to have a difficult time. on average, right?
Yeah.
And then, so for Alex to be able to, it almost feels like Alex was not even involved. It's such a one-to-one, right? It's almost like somebody ripped it out of the screen. But that is such a testament to his ability, his observations, his ability to adapt and translate. It's hard, dude. It's hard to do it. So, to get something that feels like, she obviously is badass looking, but she still looks very feminine and beautiful and also like fun and dynamic. Those are so many things that it's like, when they're not there, you notice them. But when they're there, you're just like, it's Rogue.
No, you're 100% right. I think that's, I was alluding that before, of just like, it's a real, it's magical. I think that's what I said on Sunday. It's magical. And I feel like we're Alex's ego. I don't think Alex, you have much of an ego. But,
no, he's too high.
The check's in the mail, guys.
But I just it's great, and that's why I hope one day we'll get some of those real Ghostbusters made in real life.
Well, and saying it about Alex is also saying it to any toy designer, or that if you have a figure in your collection, you really love it and you think it's special. It's an artist behind it, and it's important to remember that. And that's why we're always so big on anybody who works on it, credit on the box. Anybody who wants to come and talk online and be on camera, come on talk, because too much anonymity in the toy industry is a tough thing for people's career. So we have the luxury of being able to say, go on camera, do it, because you deserve to take a bow, and people need to know how it works.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And shout out to Hector.
Yes.
Arthur is in the chat right now, and thank you for the compliment.
Yeah.
Our
Ask Hector in the chat any reveal questions you want. Put some make him sweat.
All right, let's move on, because we spent almost 30 minutes talking about Rogue, which we could probably talk another hour of Rogue. That's how good. I guess did we announce when we're ordering her? 2024.
I think we. Yeah. Did we say it? Well, Alex, you already said it.
Well, I think Hector said it.
Hector said it. Okay. So I think it's February, but I'll let Hector say it just to make sure I don't get in trouble.
Wait, is this like, if Hector's not here, can we do whatever we want? It's just like, yeah, February.
No,
for sure.
Quite the opposite. I just want to make sure that no, I'm saying since he's here, we might be able to get an answer. I don't want to say in case I'm wrong or something. There you go. Yeah, the opposite. The fact, that's what I'm saying. Ask him stuff.
Oh my god. But some of us have to sleep, Jay. We're old. Hey, the beauty of this is you can watch it after the fact.
Hey, by the way, since we're speaking of it, just because I have him here, look.
Oh, hold on. Let's make you full screen, or big screen at least. There we go.
Come on, dude.
That is nice.
Up until I saw Rogue, I thought that Omega Red was like the figure that explains why we do this line.
Yeah.
You know, like, and so it just, like, let me tell you this, even if you're not an X-Men fan, if you got one of these guys coming your way, you know, good on you, because it stands so powerfully on the shelf. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like an optical illusion. Like when
it really is, dude.
Like even having worked on it, having seen the pictures of it, like nothing prepares you for seeing it in person. It's really like insane.
It's just yeah, dude. This proves the reason you do this line.
And the bendy tentacles work really well.
Yeah,
it's like some of the best bendy stuff I've seen.
It's cool.
Even the bendies are painted.
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
All right. Another incredibly sculpted female figure. And Alex, I don't think you work on Motu, right?
Right.
Is I guess who's is it
Tommy Hodges?
Yeah, this one's
Tommy. Tommy Hodges.
Again,
another killer.
Like just a badass female sculptor. Just like, she can kick your ass, but she's
we got them both,
right?
Yeah,
like just absolutely stunning. The
paint on this one floored me when I saw it. The funny story is, like, we were setting up for DesignerCon, and our painter Mark Bristow, who I just think crushed the paint on this one. It feels like it's airbrushed on like some guy's Astro van from the 70s. It's so like badass. But Mark literally delivered it last second to DesignerCon. He was still like putting finishing touches on just so we could have it on display. So really, really cool, man. It's an incredible figure. It looks like a Mark Taylor drawing. Like,
it really does. It's like a Mark Taylor drawing come to life. And again, it's just like they've captured the, it strikes the perfect, it's exactly as you'd want Tila to be. It's like the perfect Tila.
It's like all Tilas merged into the toy and the like you said, the Mark Taylor art. But then it's also like the cartoon, because she's got like this sort of red lipstick. So it has that like kind of like feminine quality that the cartoon had, and
the Filmation vibe.
Filmation.
It's crazy to see it in person. Is crazy too, because sometimes you'll see this stuff on screen or whatever, and you assume that it's, you know, like smoothed out and like there's a filter or some kind of compression on the picture. But in person, it is that clean. It's crazy.
I love the 50s Hollywood starlet that Charlie recalled out here too. Or like a silent film star or something. I
love it, man.
Yeah, it's so
and good. She's got so many cool accessories and stuff. Like wait till you guys see that stuff. It's really cool.
I think for me, and I've heard this from other collectors, and some are fortunate enough to be able to buy every single one, have space for every single one. But for me, it's just like, okay, it has to be one of those ones like a showstopper. It's gonna blow you away because there's only so much space.
Yeah.
And like at Dcon, you have two. These are must buys. These are must buys. The Rogue is a must buy, and this Tila is a must buy, just because it's perfect. Like I can't think of a Tila being any better than this Tila.
I'm with you. And if you're a fan of the different eras, the accessories are going to cover that for you too. Like we just showed just this one, combination of accessories, but it's that figure. Both of them. You want to answer that, Alex?
Because we showed this.
We did, right? Okay, good.
We did. It was in a slide.
I never remember. Yes, we do have it. It is going to be.
We never got approval to share
slides,
but I'm pretty sure it's there.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember, but yes, if we showed it, but apparently we did, and that's my favorite head sculpt.
2000X head.
Yeah, a 2000X head sculpt with this, technique behind it is insane. But I think both of the figures, like you mentioned, Jay, they're like they can stand on their own as a nod to your fandom of. Of either one, right? Like Rogue so much represents X-Men. Tila is core Motu character,
Yeah, absolutely. Like to me, because I have a Battle Cat. I intend to
empty saddle.
Yeah, what? No, because I sold my He-Man, so I got to get another
You
He-Man.
You put Magneto on it.
Yeah, put Magneto on it. There we go.
I'll see if I can find you one, but I don't want this nostalgia. I got to get upset again that we sent you a figure.
Oh, he can
cranky.
Suck it, okay? He's just a big old baby.
So cranky on that episode.
He's always cranky. That's his default.
That's his thing. Okay.
Jonathan's his review of Jubilee was like made me cry. It was so
because he meant it.
So good.
Yeah. Yep. He loves that thing. Like literally,
it's an awesome figure.
Like if we go somewhere, if we go to like a toy show or something, he brings it with him.
Really? That's cool. Yeah. It's a really, just to go back to the same theme, it's the testament to that. Like it's hard to get good female figures, guys. Like we all know that. We all know that. And it's like it's perfect.
Well, I hear McFarlane's doing no, he's not.
I love Tom McFarlane so much. I feel bad even teasing, but it's rough.
Listen, there's a lot you can praise. There's what he's accomplished and what he's done, but there's also things that are fair critiques.
Yes, it is.
But okay, well, Tom Charles says, 2000X seals the deal for me. There you go.
Oh man, wait till you see it.
Motu figures are works of art, statue quality sculpts, and are posable and tons of accessories. Mondo knocking Motu out of the park time after time.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that, man.
And I agree, Mike Davis. I can't wait to see Alex's Janine sculpt as well. I assume it's already been done now. I don't know. Oh man, Janine. I can't. I can't do this to myself. It's not.
He's still my heart. Janine like a character from something?
From Motu?
Yeah, she is a character from something.
Janine?
Janine or Janine. 7 of Janine from Star Trek.
Okay. Janine, is Janine just a repaint of Tila?
Just throw some glasses on.
So Peter looks like he's holding his lips together to not say something.
I certainly was holding my lips together just like this. I know me.
Hector.
It's so funny because it says the emoji.
Yeah, I think there's actually everyone in the chat sees the
emoji. Yeah.
StreamYard can't convert it.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was another one you had the render, I believe, at PowerCon. This showed right at your panel. And so we all knew that it was going to be a translucent thing, but holy crap, this turned out so freaking cool. I absolutely am just floored with this thing. I guess walk me through how the hell you pulled it off.
Wait, before you do that, we do that, tell me your thoughts on it, because I am absolutely curious. I think this is a big departure in a way.
Yeah.
And so I was curious of what your actual thoughts on it before we say anything.
I love it. because, and I think Dan Larson says, well, here, oh hey, it's that artistically correct Scareglow again. And please check out, I think he just dropped his Batman Returns video today, so
Oh
if you
yes,
haven't watched that
he
yet, everybody must watch that. A fantastic Christmas film, Batman Returns.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
But yes, the to me, I love it because it's like it's bringing that Scareglow to real life, the vintage figure. I love that it follows the vintage figure. The stitching on the cape looks really freaking cool.
Wired cape.
Why? And it's wired. Okay, didn't know that. And then the only thing, there's just one last piece that I don't see from these is the glow in the dark. Like how glowy
how well it glows.
is it? Yes, because the Mattel Origins one is some of the most insane glow in the dark I've ever seen in my life. So I think that's the last piece. But even without knowing that, I want to buy this. And then the next step is, okay, I think at the panel you mentioned this could keep going or whatever. I'd be curious to see, what angles you take with other ones, because you probably just don't want to do giant sizes of the vintage ones. I don't know where you would go.
Right. So Hector is emphasizing the glow power of it, and it's something that we were very, very conscientious of. Like, this thing has to freaking radiate. Yes. And so I can tell you that I had, that's a lit table it's on, a lit podium. So when I was setting it up, I had put it down for all of 7 minutes or something, and I just pulled it off again. And the floor wasn't fully lit for the convention yet. And I just pulled it off. I was like, whoa, what the? And I forgot that it was glow in the dark. And it was lighting up in my hand just like that. Like, it was crazy. So, it glows hard for a figure that passes, compliance rules. So like, it is not actually made of plutonium or anything. But what's cool about it, to me, and what you guys haven't been able to experience yet, but what's cool about it, I'm a big Sofubi fan, like Japanese soft vinyl, like that. I love that stuff. It's usually you can get your Godzilla figures like that, Ultraman, but you don't usually get a chance to get other IP in that form factor. So this Scareglow, you look at it, it's huge. It's 15 inches, right? Yep. So it's really freaking big. It's bigger than any of our 6 scale. And it's big and wide and chunky because it's got those proportions of the original figures. And visually, it's exactly the figure, of course, except with the exception of it's hollowed and the skeleton is inside, articulates, all glows. But when you hold it in your hand, it's got this satisfying Sofubi like squeezability, which is a thing that you only get for super high end.
How does it not get all like, I don't know, jangly in there with the bones?
So it's it'll be 2 separate pieces, and then you put the skeleton, you cast the skeleton separately, and it's set into that body.
But if it's Sofubi, is it kind of squishy? So how does it not?
Well, it's not like Gak. It's not Nickelodeon's Gak.
I know.
It's not like a squishmallow.
Yeah,
I don't understand how.
It's not Floam.
Floam was my jam.
Remember?
I love
Floam was
awesome.
Floam. But my point is that the reason I'm so excited about this, because on its surface, it's an amazing Scareglow. You see the skeleton inside for the first time. It glows like in an uncomfortably bright way. And at the end of the day, it's going to introduce. It's a firm squish.
It's going to firm squish. There we go. That's going to be on the box. It's a firm
between the Rogue review and this, we're really pushing the GDL like limits here. But this is going to be a lot of Motu collectors' first actual Sofubi figure.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for you guys to get these because Sofubi is amazing. And if we could do more Motu in that way, I think you guys will love, because as much as the 6 scale stuff is just like, it's like a work of art. You pose it a couple times maybe, and you set it and you just appreciate it, right? But these invite you to pick them up, put them on your desk for a while, move them back on the shelf, because they're fairly like indestructible. And it's just, it invites play, if that makes any sense.
No, absolutely. Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
So it's got swappable heads, and it's got both of the weapons. Yeah, Hector will talk about the limited nature of it. I believe we're gonna go for. Let me just let him say it, just in case. I forget the details, and he knows those details to a T, and then I say the wrong thing. But so there's an original head sculpt. The original head sculpt comes on it. Right? You can see it there, swappable with that updated head sculpt there. and then the green version of his weapon, and also the glow in the dark version of his weapon, which was like a major chase. You know. But yeah, Mosquito is one that I'd love. But there's a more prominent figure that's very transparent that no one's thinking about, apparently.
But he should just be fully squishy.
Roboto.
Yeah.
Just squish the blood around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Roboto. See, timed edition. So anybody, like our other stuff, if you know it's coming out and you want one, you'll be able to get one. Okay. Yeah. And this is Hector's baby. I gotta
be honest with the time, though. I always forget the damn time. Like, I feel like
it's because you're not prioritizing.
It's not that I'm not prioritizing. It's just people are
Why don't
busy.
we do a shared calendar on iCal? We'll do a shared calendar.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
We need a shared calendar. Sorry, Alex, what were you gonna say?
No, I said that basically that.
Yeah, shared calendar.
You have an alert, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I'll personally call you and say, "Hey Jay, you awake?"
I'm sure that's what you want to do is call me randomly.
There's one on the site for you.
Yeah.
But it's one to get to, because like this one to me was the piece of the show that I was like, bro, this is so good.
This is like there's just so many must buys at this show, and it's really frustrating because I'm trying to be.
It feels Wonka-esque. It felt like that one felt like a little Wonka-esque magic to it. Like it's like a dream come true.
So good. So good. And I can see the firm squishiness in this photo, you know?
Yeah. And you've always been a size queen.
Okay. Another Motu reveal. Again, I think you all show this at PowerCon, or at least the
concept art.
The concept art for it. Orco, and I think the slide, like you had this, the kind of central figure that was part of it. And then I think you just almost had like the animation of the Filmation, Orco, and then Drila. Driel. Thank God, Driel. Good Lord. Dreell. And so I think people are like, oh, is like, what does that mean? Like, are you gonna be able to change things out? I was like, no, it's like 2 additional figures. And I think seeing this whole entire package now this thing is incredibly impressive. And for a smaller character, I feel like y'all packed this thing to the gills. And I believe have made it a really good value. I guess walk us through the strategy here of basically getting 3 figures in one.
Yeah, well, I mean, Orco is a smaller figure, like you said, and you know, we can in our minds, it's always put all the things in there as if there will never be another Orco figure, right? That's literally how we are designing all of this. Like, what Easter egg do you want to see? Which is the one that makes you go, God, we gotta put this in there. And then with Orco, we had a lot of opportunity. You know, there's a swappable head. You know, there's his unmasked head for the first time, right? So
people are kind of freaked out about the unmasked head.
As well, you should be. As well, it's right there. It's a nightmare, and that's the whole point. It's why he wraps himself up like that. You think he's cold? It's just he knows what he looks like. You know, that's not how to win friends. You know, and so So
I can already see my thumbnail will just be these eyes, like just looking at you. That's just a big
with a smile. It gives me Mac and Me vibes.
Yeah.
So, And so, but it's perfect because that's what I would expect with that voice, right? You know, but then again, like the space, you know, we were able to with the plans to put in full retro figures. You know, that those could almost exist on their own outside of your 6-scale collection. Yeah, you know, Orco's toys, his scepter, you know, not and again, like we sculpted his legs. So you know, if you see any uncomfortable pictures of Mad Hatter or Toysha's doing upshots under Orco, it's not what you think. They want to try to show you the legs.
Are you kink shaming right now? Come on.
Yeah, I'm just explaining it. People get a little like, wait, what is he doing? Is this the subway? No, and so like, and so you can see the legs underneath. They're great, and so incredible legs. So yeah, man.
Shout out May Tam Tarana, who's the sculptor on this. May Shelf or Sculptor Shelf on Instagram. It's like the stuff that's under the robe is, I mean, his legs, his feet. They're so beautifully detailed. Like
Yeah.
the bottoms of his feet, like every wrinkle, it's so real, and his hands are just so like, you know, that for a figure that is like fully covered up in a robe and a scarf and like is in face and shadow, like the details on this figure are mind blowing.
Yeah.
It-
And again, you've taken a figure that could be a pass for some people, right? Because it's not like if your shelf space limited, whatever, it's like, no, you got it. This Orco's incredible, and you're getting so much with it. I do think there's a great question. Here we go. Mondo, Orco the White in the future. We're big fans of Revelation Evolution here, and Orco the White.
That's
and
awesome.
I believe in the second season, that's just Orco's, default look. Thoughts of factoring that in somehow, or maybe a future release?
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it always, we always make those decisions based on the reaction to the figure. If people love Orco so freaking much, and then we go back and say, can we do this? And does it make sense to do it? And yeah. Like, it's all possible. We have fun with those. I mean, as you saw with our Disco Skeletor, we're not afraid of doing some fun variants. You know what I mean?
So beautiful.
Yeah. And Orco, to me, before this figure, before Revelation, I thought the 4 Horsemen design was like perfect.
Yeah.
I remember that figure coming out. I'm going, holy crap, you guys.
Yeah.
And so this one, to me, borrows influences from everywhere, including that figure, but it ties it back to that cone silhouette that we got in our original Orco figure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you get that whole silhouette, but the extra new HD detail everywhere.
Yeah.
Those magic effects feel like, I mean, it's like Doctor Strange opening a portal. It's
absolutely.
So rad, dude. That stuff lit properly, and people's collection is going to be insane.
Yeah, there's so much like animation and movement to it.
Yes.
And the floating base is such a fun one too.
Oh, I think that's something the Origins figure did really well. The base and just being able to easily move it around and get all these different poses.
Yeah, like a Nendoroid.
So yeah, I just it looks absolutely fantastic. Jamie Vaughn, my dream is for Mono to do Thundercats like this. I could die happy.
That'd be awesome.
Hector, no comment? Okay. Tony Taponi, now I want Mondo, Mac and me, Safubi.
Yeah, should we do a yellow variant?
Yeah.
Of Orco?
Just the head. Just release it in a bag with a little header card.
Naked
nightmare
Orco.
Fuel.
Yeah, I need that Mac and me clip that from Conan.
That Paul Rudd always plays.
Paul Rudd.
Yes, dude.
Christopher, I never wanted to see under Orco's robe before until Mondo made the dreams come true. Dreams I never knew I had.
That's what we do, man. We are the dream makers.
Just not the dreams you thought. Okay. Mondo, once upon a time, I can't remember when that was. Was it 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
Yeah, it was some years back.
And did turtle stuff. And now it looks like jumping back into the TMNT waters.
Yeah.
With kind of, it's soft vinyl, so would you say this is like Safubi style TMNT as well?
Yeah, it is. Feel? Yeah, and it's clear. Yeah, definitely that. The thing with soft vinyl, the reason why we're big fans of the soft vinyl is because you can get a lot of detail, and you can get articulation. You're not going to get 900 points, but you can get good articulation, and they feel like what the idea of toy is in your mind from your youth. Like, you want to pick it up, you can have fun with it, you can pose it. There's accessories coming with all these. The proportions are usually exaggerated to some degree, and we wanted this to feel like stocky bulldog proportions. Like, I think Hector at one point, Alex mentioned that this has to fit in a square, in a cube, right? Alex designed these.
Oh, badass.
Yeah. Hector, and it was actually like a really fun, awesome collaboration with Hector, where it was like these things really evolved and changed. The two of us going back and forth, and Hector does great draw overs and stuff on the sculpts concepts, and so it gives great notes. And we got these to a place where both of us were like, yeah, that's it. That just hits you when you see it.
Now, is
And
that
Hector-
an intentional scar on Leonardo's eye, or is that like a prototype
Yes.
thing?
No, yeah,
Oh,
scar.
cool.
Because I like in the comics, like in the Mirage comics, they have like a little different personalities, like
Yes.
Leonardo is more of like the Raphael, like what you think of with Raphael, where
Sure.
he's like in fact the live action movies that are adapting the comics, they kind of swap Leo out for Raphael. And so I thought that was like a cool idea where like Leo is like, he is like probably the best fighter. He's the most serious, the most committed, the furthest along in his ninja training of his brothers. And like, that's kind of what makes him the leader, So he's sort of the older brother who's going to put himself out front and center to protect his brothers and take the like licks for it. So that, that little scar is a little nod to
that's
him
cool.
being a tough.
I'm sure the Leonardos everywhere. Thank you for making
You're
Leonardo
welcome,
cool.
Craig.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so and the idea with them, well, first of all, I should say Hector painted these prototypes like the week of the show.
Oh, damn.
We were gonna show them unpainted, and I thought like they already look great as sculpts.
Sure.
And Hector's like, I just want to communicate the vibe that they're gonna have when they're painted, that they recall the original figures.
Yes, they really do.
They do.
The sinewy, muscles and
yeah, and it has that 90s
muscles.
Yeah, it has that 90s aesthetic. Hector and Alex, designing the sculpts together really captured that aesthetic that we were loving as kids in those Playmates figures, that they're little like turned up, right? Yep. And look, Hector's saying with these TMNT is to tell a story, as with Leo Scars, Mondo Gecko has a bunch of little story Easter eggs in there. Yeah, so what I was going to get to is that Mondo Gecko is designed by James Groman. And so James Groman, if you don't know, he is a huge rock star in the toy community. He was his job in the 90s was designing some of our favorite toys, like My Pet Monster, Mad Balls. I don't know if you remember Barnyard Commandos. Yeah, so he was the guy behind all that stuff. And so when I met him all these years later, he's had a second renaissance in his career where he's designing these giant gnarly figures that people pay like over $1,000 for, like crazy stuff. And then, he's done our Man Thing, Werewolf by Night. We sold his Godzilla on it. There's an aesthetic there that's so 90s of that era of the toys that we loved so much growing up. But he never worked on TMNT. Never. And
that's crazy.
Yes. So to me, we would always say like, man, wouldn't it be so cool to see what would happen? Like we work with James, if we could get TMNT back, that would be an amazing peanut butter chocolate moment. And this design, I think, captures it. Alex, you sculpted this.
No, Brendan Gash.
Okay.
Super awesome sculpt. Yeah. He crushed it. Like all the details are
especially all the little, bumps and stuff.
Yeah, the textures. Yeah, so it's a perfect marriage of Groman's designs. Brandon nailed it
too.
Yeah, the braces. Yeah.
Wecker, the maker, asks, does he use ZBrush or just a pile of monster clay?
Groman just started using ZBrush recently. So I think the last figure that he did fully in clay was Werewolf by Night. And so after that, the Demogorgon was, I believe, his first ZBrush sculpt.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Ryan Dole says, get Groman on Muckman and Joe.
Yes. Oh my God.
For sure.
Yes. That would be perfect.
And I agree. I feel like the turtles are cool. I'm not saying this to knock the turtles at all, but then seeing that you have Mondo Gecko, okay, so we're not just doing the 4 turtles. Like it's like, okay, we're getting into the cool just weirdness of 80s, 90s TMNT.
We talk about it internally, like, we feel compelled to get the turtles out early because people want to know they're going to get all 4 turtles.
Sure.
But, like there's an internal discussion for like wave 2. Should wave 2 be 2 more turtles and another side character, or should it be like 1 turtle and 2 side characters?
Yeah.
Those kind of questions we're having all the time. Because to me, I love the turtles, but Mondo Gecko, Ray Fillet, Genghis Frog, like those are like Wingnut, Screw Loose, Muckman, those characters I'm just like, those are like those like sacrosanct to me. I gotta have those like this.
It's kind of one of those things where I feel like just there's so much turtles and there's so much TMNT, and there's also just the worry too, just like, oh, you're just gonna do the 4 turtles and that's it, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so to me, and even if it's just one cool one per wave and then 2 turtles, but I think me personally, I was like, no, give me all the weirdos. Like
Me too.
That's what I want.
I'll take all 3 weirdos.
Yeah.
Who's your number one want, Jay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Super 7 hasn't gotten to him yet, but Worm.
Oh, Worm is a great figure, dude.
He pretty much is a Sofubi already.
Just big old head and just all the little worms, the little I have a couple of him. Like every time I find one in decent shape, I'll pick him up.
He's great. Weird. That's a great call. It's a great call. We love Ground Chuck.
Oh, Ground Chuck's great.
Yeah,
it's a great one.
Dirtbag.
Everyone's great.
Dirtbag. Well, that's the point. Is like, for me, the goal, and all of us, we're really on the same page about this, is to be able to blow these up. They're about like these 3 are 8 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Roughly, right, Alex?
Yeah. The turtles are 8 inches.
Yeah. But when we get to Bebop and Rocksteady, they need to be bigger. When we, so it's going to have a line with its own scaling, so that if the turtles are this size, that means that Slash has got to be bigger.
Sure.
You know,
you've seen our Juggernaut.
Yeah.
So.
You've seen how wild things can get.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Worm is a great idea, man.
Metalhead, Mutagen Man,
Mutagen
a lot
Man
of Pizza Face love. I know there are rumors of a sexy Pizza Face. But yeah, I think
are you guys trolling Kyle?
I'm not saying I may have or not have seen, maybe. I don't know. It's a mystery.
Sexy Pizza Face, isn't that redundant?
That's a good point. Good call.
Well, it's I think we've joked because he had the sexy Rat King.
Yeah.
And I believe when he was on, we said, well, if you're gonna do Pizza Face,
throw a sexy one. Dude, that'd be a great hook for them.
It should be a Pizza Face that looks exactly like the figure, but when you remove his chef's hat, the little like extra head he has is like Brad Pitt.
Oh, that's a good one. That would be, Jay, this is a brilliant idea. This is a free idea for Super 7.
Yeah.
Going forward, every TMNT Ultimates has a sexy face.
Right.
Double down.
Yeah.
Double down.
Like, just because they threw in the sexy Rat King face anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
Rat King.
That's what I'm saying. They could technically, and they would do this. Exactly. They would do this. A head pack of all the previous Ultimates that didn't have a sexy face.
Yeah. Like, they found their niche.
Oh my God. I want it. Immediate buy.
All right. We've got ourselves Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Oh yeah.
And this looks like your work, Peter. Is this?
It is. Yeah. So, I've never actually done a licensed Creature from the Black Lagoon print, but I have done them before. I had, access to good companies who had licenses and all that. I did a bunch of like inspired by prints, right? And the design for the creature was very much inspired by like American traditional tattoo flash. So how it might look in hanging on a tattoo shop somewhere. Yeah. And then obviously incorporating all that carved texture, looking at the original Creature from the Black Lagoon suit. I mean, the Creature from the Black Lagoon to me is like, it's like a template. Like it's like a platform. There's so many takes on the figure that it invites that redesign. But when you look at the original movie suit, his suit is like layers stacked upon layers coming down. So we emphasize those pieces with that light green contour that goes around, and then emphasize it again around the abdomen. It's going to be a 10-inch vinyl figure. It's going to have articulation. And I just love how it came out. Shout out to Tufan Caesar, Hector, who worked on the sculpt, and then Hector's wife, Hillary, who actually paints all of my figures. And from what I understand, and now that I've learned a bit about it, these are a nightmare to paint because they have to be spot on. There's so many small and abrupt color changes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, you really have to have a great eye and a great hand. So Hillary crushed it on the paint. Me too, Johnny. Let's get, because I did that print. That would be an awesome one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm so happy with this because the reaction was huge. It was like it ended up being the biggest social media post I've ever created was for this figure. And I was real nervous to show it off just because I wasn't sure if anybody wanted to see this type of thing with my design sensibilities on it. And people were just stoked on it. So if you're a Universal fan, if you're just like a toys as art fan, or if you like oddball stuff, I think this one's going to be right up your alley.
Well, to me, it's like, one, I love your art styles because it's so yours. Like if I see a piece that you have created, it's like, oh, that's Peter. But I don't know. I think maybe you, I don't want to say undersold, but I feel like Creature from the Black Lagoon, just like his design aesthetic, I think fits to your style really well. And I think maybe that's why you're getting this great response, just because just the way the face is structured, his body and everything. Like I think it lends itself to your artistic style in a really cool way. And it turned out awesome.
I feel like this also looks like the era of the movie. You know? It's just like fits with that modern style, you know, like it's and Peter, you love the Gill Man. Like
he's right there with Godzilla for me, like best monsters. You know, someone pointed out
shows with this. This is like a true labor of love.
Yeah, we really went over this a lot to get it right. And we were at DesignerCon in Anaheim. So a couple of the nights we went to Trader Sam's. And then like someone mentioned it when we were hanging out, like that the creature reminds him of a tiki glass style design. I'm like, bro, that's why people are digging it, because it is of that era, like the creature from the Black Lagoon, the surf movies. It just, I can't take credit for that. That's an accident, but I'm taking it to the bank. That's a good point.
Beach party creature.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the commercial that we should have the ding, 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 ding. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I love it. God. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was so fun. It's the perks of working at Mondo, you know, being able to do things like that. So couldn't be more hyped.
Yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. All right, this set was I felt a little out of left field, but it looks freaking cool. Walk us through these American Werewolf in London Nightmare Demons.
Yeah, so you know, the idea with, like we said, with DesignerCon, such a designer vinyl heavy show, and us being such huge fans, we're introducing TMNT in soft vinyl. We have the giant Scare Glow in soft vinyl. You know, in a sense, we're expressing our love of those licenses to the DesignerCon audience, saying, guys, you love soft vinyl, even if it's just a random character, like come check out this stuff in soft vinyl. It's up your alley. And in this case, we're talking to horror fans who, I'm a big horror movie fan. A lot, I love my NECA figures. I love my Super 7 reaction figures, but you don't get a lot of diversity sometimes with horror collectibles. It's usually like really realistic stuff or, on model stuff. And for us, we wanted to make something that we want to buy, and we want our favorite horror movie icons to line up with all our classics of Fubi collection. And we were lucky to have the license from Universal to work on American Werewolf in London. And so these Nightmare Soldiers are awesome because they are retro Japanese style Sofubi figures in the truest sense, but they're also going to come with swappable heads. So you technically, you buy 2 figures, but you get 4 representations. Yeah. If you want to buy 2 sets, you'll have all 4 of them. Yeah. But it's this awesome 10-inch scale. Again, it's like, this is the kind of collectible as a toy collector that has a little bit of everything. Yeah. When people come to my house and check out the collection room, it's always the stuff that I brought home from Japan or the stuff that I picked up over the years that it pops out on the shelf. Like if you have a collection of a bunch of like really great Marvel Legends or Black Series, they're awesome. Each figure is awesome. But when you see them all together, sometimes it can kind of like blend in your collection, like to create like this kind of like, right?
Yes, it doesn't stand out. Yeah.
It does. There's not a lot of dynamic
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to really have some great dioramas or whatever and space them out. You can do it, but it's a little harder. This style of collectible figure, like Sofubi, I encourage everybody after the stream, go look into it. It pops on your shelf so much because they're that perfect size. You can stand a bunch of them up next to each other because they always have these upright, like vintage poses, and the heads are big, but they're also detailed and expressive. So
Paint's
it just
cool,
lends
too.
itself so
It's
much. So
great.
we're really appealing to the horror audience out there, which is all of us, and saying like, here's a cool thing you can have in your collection.
Well, you know, I think you maybe was it at Comic-Con this year talked about you know, getting Universal
Yeah.
on board, and
Yeah.
so I personally can't wait till we get some E.T. Safubi, because I feel like he's
Ooh.
perfect for it.
Yeah.
He is, dude. That's
And
a
I
great
would
one.
Get that in a heart.
And you get the translucent chest
Mhm.
area.
With the heart.
Finger.
1/1 scale ET. How much would you
Not
pay?
1/1.
No, too big.
Space
Okay.
for a
All right.
1/1.
All right. Calm down.
Well, maybe
What
this
if he's
10
hollow and you can put your other toys in him?
That's not. I
Like
don't
that,
want
like that R2D2 clothing hamper from like 1980.
Yeah, no, like I can't.
No?
Because didn't they make like didn't Toys R Us have ET displays like that were life size? I feel like I see those at
Me too.
comic shops and
Or
stuff.
like Blockbuster Video for the anniversary or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like ET, I would love, because that's
So good.
I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
That's another restore my soul movie.
It's perfect.
And we got Michael Myers.
Yeah, so in the
some
same
movie
line.
style as well.
Yeah, same line. You're gonna have swappable head if you're a fan of the Halloween movies, especially Halloween 2. You know that blonde hair on that mask is a reference to Ben Tramer, the poor kid who just decided to wear the same mask that Michael picked up from the costume shop. And when the cops see him, they run him over. Spoilers. It's a lot of fun, and we wanted to capture that fun moment in Safubi.
Damn, the archive. Can't wait for the ET on the verge of dead in a creek variant.
Oh my God.
Oh man, yeah, we got our variant.
Damn, that's so dark.
He looks like a Tums tablet.
Oh, that one always it breaks my heart.
Yeah, it's too hard, too sad.
Never been done.
Yeah,
I guess because it's too depressing.
Sadness variant.
Yeah. We've also got some Godzillas.
Yeah,
this Urban Aztec one is sick.
It's the story of the year,
prop,
man.
Yeah, this is like an ancient, idol.
Yes.
Yeah, it feels like you could have found it somewhere, right? Like that's the whole point of it, and it works so well on Jesse's sculpt. That sculpt was shown off for the first time at Comic-Con, and people were just floored by it.
Yeah,
and it did incredibly well. We did 2 variants. And this one was one we had talked about. Like, if people react well to this, it would be awesome to be able to get out this like ancient idol version of it. You know, and it's so cool that Toho allows us to do this. They trust us to pair up with artists who exaggerate, Godzilla. Like my stuff is out there, but Jesse's is like culturally shifting the character.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. Jesse's a great artist, great guy. He's a great friend. We love working with him. So when these kind of things land and connect with people, it's the best.
I love it has like, it's like the gold and like this jade green, or
maybe
it's just like oxidized copper or something. Like
it's Legends of the Hidden Temple, bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you need it.
This one is a maybe buy. I don't know where the hell I'll put it, but
what you do is you use it to knock off some of those other toys off the shelf. And put it right there. Nestle it.
And then we got some more.
Yeah, this is like we do a lot of Godzilla soft vinyl stuff, and this is a nod to the movie All Monsters Attack, which is a hilarious movie because it's essentially a Godzilla clip show as a movie.
Yeah,
and then they created one new monster for it, Gabra on the right. He's just like this nasty Roger Klotz, Nelson Muntz energy in the movie if you've never seen it. And he's literally beating up Godzilla's kid the whole movie. It's like this bizarre thing. And then, so strongly recommend if you've never seen it, it's a fever dream. And these figures were like our first choice. Like no one ever does Gabra. Do Gabra, dude. Yeah, he's a jerk. He's got that shithead face. Look at him. And so
it looks like
there's my one, by the way. Sorry.
Like a bootleg Bowser.
Yes.
Yeah, man. But it's so great. And then Minya got the little figure. He's got a look in the movies. It's not everybody's cup of tea. And so when we were designing our own, the goal was, can we make him like cute, but it's still clearly recognizable as Minya? And I think that worked out.
Ever looked.
It really is, because I was trying to pitch my kids on going to see Godzilla -1, right? Because Colleen didn't want to go see. So sometimes like, all right, boys, do you want to go with daddy to see a movie? And I was like, let's watch some clips from all the other Godzillas to get you primed. And they saw the son of Godzilla, and there's like, ugh, that's weird. Yeah, it was an official for them. I think I blew it. I was like, I'm sorry, it's cool. It's cooler than this.
You gotta show them the '90s Godzilla movies. That's the ones.
Well, it was like one of those YouTubes, like, okay, Godzilla through the years, and they kind of went clips from all the movies through the '90s.
Yeah. Okay.
But I just should have went with the '90s.
Or just Godzilla versus Kong. What's that's not enough? Everybody loves that. That's for the kids.
I feel like -1's a good intro.
Dude, that's a heavy movie. Did you see it, Jay?
No, because the kids didn't want to go with me.
Yeah, Colleen to see it with you.
Yeah, I think
great.
I asked, she said no.
I honestly think Colleen would love it because it's like an actual great. I'm gonna take Gabby to see it, and Gabby's like can take or leave the movies, but like I'm gonna take her to see it because it's an awesome movie, dude. It's like an Amblin film.
Good human story in it.
Yeah, it's like it feels like Jaws and Jurassic Park and Dunkirk.
Yeah.
I see everyone tell me like it's the greatest thing ever.
It's the best Godzilla movie I've ever seen. I'll say that.
Damn. Okay. All right.
You have to see it in a theater.
Yeah, I will. I'll. It's still playing. I think at our theater across the street. So
Christmas
I will
Day,
get there.
Leave the kids at home.
Well, next, I've been working like nonstop, but next week I am off. I've taken the week off, so
nice. Good for you.
hope I can just like, even if I just go by myself, go watch that movie.
Yeah.
Let's close on this beautiful variant of the Demogorgon. I believe we first saw this at Comic-Con as well.
We showed it off the main version that's the paint that's based on the actual show at Comic-Con. The James Groman Demogorgon. This paint app that Hector
I love this so much.
Is so crazy, dude. It's like a Lisa Frank nightmare. It's like a Trapper Keeper, cover.
Like one of those like black light pothead posters. It's perfect.
Exactly. It's got, and so the Demogorgon figure, again, it's an awesome, huge articulated vinyl figure designed by James Groman and sculpted by him and painted by Hector. And it comes with so much. The thing about James Groman's design sensibilities and why I think anybody watching this show needs to like go get real familiar with him is because just like the Turtles figures when we were kids, there's details and Easter eggs in the sculpt all around that tell the story. So like, he's got his arm wrapped up in the Christmas lights, which glow in the dark, by the way, is so freaking cool. And then he's got the skull in his hand. He's got a baseball bat stuck in his back with all the nails and spikes on it, right? He's got the bear trap, clamping on his ankle.
Neon green here.
The neon green. It's so good.
Yeah, it's got like real chain links.
You have original like Toxic Crusaders figures. You got to get this for that collection.
Yeah.
It would fit right in for sure.
And then it comes with a Dart, who's also
I
there.
love the D'Artagnan. He looks great.
And it comes with a swappable head, so you got like the closed pedal.
Oh, and then the little.
Yeah. It's an amazing figure. It's like one of those things where like you watch Stranger Things, you're like, I want figures of all this.
Yeah.
But then to me, when I see these, I'm like, no, this is the figure I want because this feels like it would have come out around the time of that aesthetic. Yeah.
Yep. And they tried that with those Fright Features ones, but they were just like spooky and creepy and weird.
Yeah, it was a little
and not in a good way, but like you're right. This has that stylized thing about it that just a like for like accurate Demogorgon is like, oh, that's not as fun. And this taps into that for sure. Thomas asks, any chance that the Werewolf by Night will be released in a different format in the future? I would love to get another shot at that piece.
I don't have the pictures here for some reason, but we showed off 2 other colorways at the show. So there's a Blood Moon variant where it's like a darker black fur with red ripped pants and red eyes. Amazing. And then there's a pen and ink version, which it matches the Man Thing that came out. It looks like a pen ink illustration on paper with a black wash over white. It's awesome. So Werewolf by Night. One of the cool things about these vinyl figures is they lend themselves to different colorways.
Yeah.
So the original one is sold out, and that's the exclusivity. It's cool, it's collectible in that regard. But there's ways to bring them back in a way that doesn't like cheapen the original release. That's
the important part.
One thing I want to say, Jay. Yeah. I was talking to our buddy Toy Shiz at Dcon,
Mm-hmm.
and he had recently gotten the Sabretooth 1/6 figure,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, I was a little on the fence in general about 1/6 as a format.
Yeah.
But he got that figure in to do a review, and he says that for him, suddenly it clicked for him, like what this line and this level of collectibles started to mean. As somebody, you can imagine how many figures that guy has.
Sure. Yeah.
And we're talking about it. Like, I've got my old wrestling figures. I got I got all scales. But there's something about, and I just encourage, if you've never gotten a big figure, whether it's a soft vinyl figure, whether it's a 1/6, try one and see what it feels like. And I'm going to show you something because I have it behind me here. This figure I just got in the mail from eBay. I don't know if you recognize this. This is the Toy Biz supersized superheroes figure. It's a 15-inch. Sound familiar? Soft vinyl from Toy Biz from the 90s. And I had it as a kid and I loved it so much. I don't know what happened to it. But after I played the new Spider-Man game, I started thinking about that Venom figure from my childhood. I went and I got it and I couldn't believe that it was a soft vinyl figure. It's squishy, and it's got these big proportions. And it just looks so cool, on your display at that scale. And it made me realize, I think that's why I love these, because they remind it does. It's incredible. Look at this. Forget Rogue.
Yeah, see the donk.
Look at that.
Oh, Lord, there we
Rogue
go.
who?
That's a quarter
That was
off
the
that.
reference I used.
And so it dawned on me why I think I love things like this so much. Like, this is the Space Godzilla that we sold out of at DesignerCon.
Oh, beautiful.
But that texture, that playability, it feels valuable and premium, but it doesn't feel precious. You know what I mean? And as a toy collector who just loves to interact, and enjoy these things, I strongly encourage, at some point, if you're out there watching, you've never had a vinyl figure, or if you've never got one of those 1/6, try one so you can see what we're talking about. People need to see it in person.
Yeah, it really doesn't come across in also just the feel of it too.
Yeah.
Really,
it's not quite what you expect.
If people are still on the fence, they may just need to get the Jabertooth expansion pack for Sabertooths to truly appreciate.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we had an ask of a side-by-side to Omega, settle down.
Hey, you're partying already, dude? Wait till after the stream.
But then your Venom, just to kind of see, like, do they scale?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, can you play? Settle down reactions. Good Lord. Sorry.
Here, let me see.
Oh, so it's a little bit bigger. It's a bit bigger. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is more in line with what Scareglow will be in terms of height.
Oh,
so
Lord.
These are roughly 12-inch figures, and these are about 3 inches bigger.
Okay.
So, and then of course, the proportions scale with that.
And Omega's on the big side.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
He's like
he's
13 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's rad. But there's something about it, man. Like, when you have these on your shelf, I've actually gotten to this point where I either like really big figures and really small figures. Like, I love my reactions, and I love these big jumbo things to get. There's something fun about that,
I think the Gen Z would say anything in between would just be, that's mid.
Oh, thank you. Well, there's the dad in the Geek Dad Life show. You got it.
I mean, it's the definition of mid, right?
They're literally in the middle of. All right, real quick. Any things we want to voice over from your panel for these reveals?
Well, just so you know, I don't want you to be jealous. Our panel was not as lit as our panel when we did it at PowerCon.
Yeah, I'm a little upset. You were like, "Hey, Jay, do you want to like fly out and do this again? You want to bring the band back together?"
No, you don't want it. This was like explain the theories behind licensing, and when we did PowerCon, it was just reveal, boom, boom, boom. So yeah, we gave you the juicy stuff.
Yeah, there were no reveals in the panel itself.
No.
These screens are from. There's a monitor in the booth.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk about these, Alex. I feel like you know a thing or two about them.
Yeah. So this is Bane coming to our Batman animated series line, sculpted by Tommy, who he loves Bane. He loves Juggernaut. He loves Apocalypse. He crushes any character like that. It's just like, labor of love. And he's got this first time for a Bane figure. an alternate super pumped up body. Because like I know when Hector says like let's do
Fully
Bane,
yoked.
I was like, man, it would be amazing if we could give that option. 'Cause
Yeah.
he does. He gets, it's part of his character. Like he gets
Yeah.
buffed up. He kind of transforms, right? So this is obviously when he's like ODing on the stuff, and it's just like out of control. And you can even see he's gonna come with the little Venom regulator that has the batarang in it. So the batarang that gets stabbed in there.
Yep.
So the swapped the buffed up torso won't be articulated. It's just
okay. That's my question. Yeah, because it didn't look like it in
the wrist pegs will move, right?
Yeah. So
and
the head will be articulated in the hands, but
and the waist you can turn it.
Right, but to get those arms,
right,
it's just like, and it's just you don't want articulation to interfere with that. And again, it's like it's a specific moment in the show. We want you to be able to like recreate if you want that.
Well, even people that are that jacked in real life can't really move their arms.
Yeah, right. They say they have the flexibility, but I don't think so.
They don't.
That torso for me, that pumped up torso with that head. The third head is how I'm having him displayed. Oh my god, the sculpt on that head,
bugging out.
Bulging eyes is so good, dude. It's so good.
Tommy did such a great job with these heads. Like they jumped right off the screen. Like absolutely perfect.
So good, so good. And then we had the. Oh yeah.
I see a sad comment for next week's Toy Anxiety. If you go back to Bane, did you see it?
Oh no, wait.
It was good.
Hold on.
It wasn't even about the toys. The figure shots 3301. They gave Bane no damn respect in this series. Screw Bruce Timm. Look at that.
Although I love most of his creative work with DC, he never understood or respected Bane as a character.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, it's really good.
They needed at least 2 episodes.
Yeah.
In fairness, I get, because even the great Christopher Nolan didn't really know what to do with Bane.
Yeah.
Like he kind of used him well for like 15 minutes, and then it was like he was just there for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But anyway.
This is new.
Speaking of Venom.
Yeah. Nice.
Big reveal. Oh yeah, speaking of, you got Bane with the Venom, you got Venom himself.
Yeah.
It's the theme.
Yeah, so this is the 1/6 Venom. We announced the 1/6 scale animated Spider-Man line at PowerCon. And man, what a hype moment that was to be able to finally talk about that. And yeah, I think if you announce that line, people are gonna say, I just want Spider-Man, and you better give me Venom and the symbiote, then we can talk about everything else. And I agree. Like that's where you start, because this Venom, just like we were talking about with Rogue and Omega Red, they just exude the 90s to me, like this depiction of it. Yeah. So you want to talk about it a little bit, Alex?
Yeah, Venom is such a cool character. So like I was never like a big Venom guy. Like I like him, like okay, but sculpting this, when you start to put the pieces in place and you get all the teeth and the you're like, oh, this is cool. This is a cool character. I think it's hard to make him not look cool.
Yeah, it's it's a Todd McFarlane thing, right? Like so,
it's a great design.
This is actually an earlier. So this is like kind of like the concept art. It's my initial sculpt, but like none of the articulation is laid in yet. So he actually, he's looking a little better, I think, now. With the articulation starting to cut in, and yeah, it's a cool. He'll have he's got some Eddie Brock heads. He's got he's gonna have a swappable jaw for 2 different modes of tongue. He's got sort of the conservative
Hold on,
tongue.
I feel like that gets a.
That's what she said.
Yeah. And then he's got the big slimy tongue lashy tongue.
Yeah,
it's so good, man.
And then that's he's also got the harness that you can put. You'll be able to put Spider-Man in and have him hold him up from like the beginning of the cartoon.
So good.
And to me, because you showed the symbiote suit, Spidey at PowerCon, and it looked great there too. But I can't wait to see the blue shading in real life. I think that's the thing I'm most excited about. and seeing this Venom, as well as I think you had pictures, same slides of symbiote Spidey. Like, I can't wait to see that for real.
Yeah. Because again, you get such a flashback to
Yes,
being a kid and in the
You're right.
90s, and yeah.
It's like it's brain breaking when you look at it right there, because that is a sculpt, right? So it's
Yeah.
like it feels like it's the cartoon that I'm looking at, but also
Yeah.
it's weird. It's a brain.
I can't
Well,
wait
it's
to
the
see
cell
that
shading.
for real.
Like,
Yeah.
even though there's not much cell shading here, it's like, and Venom has this really cool effect from the cartoon where he's being lit by blue light from one side and red light from the other
Yes.
side. Like,
Mhm.
it's actually
Yeah.
they built like dramatic lighting into the design of the character. So that's going to be, I think, really cool and effective.
It's I can't wait, because whenever people have done this figure or black suits Spidey figures before, it's just a bunch of black plastic with some
Yeah.
white on it or whatever. But like this, for the first time, could like truly like incorporate that well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Cock is a great comment if you want to highlight it, Jay.
Yeah.
And it's a great question for Alex. Alex, can you speak to Venom's butt or into it or anything? Like,
Okay,
can you
well,
speak
so
about
this
it?
actually I can.
Because this is what we're
because-
talking about. We're comparing it to this, in case you forgot.
Sure, yeah.
So on this cartoon,
Looks like a truck.
yeah, in the original Spider-Man cartoon, the model sheets and stuff, Venom has the opposite situation going on.
Oh,
that
He has
interesting.
the smallest, like most clenched butt.
But is there cleavage? Like, is there a clear
Oh,
like
yeah.
like, can you swipe a credit card?
So he's got
It's
the steroids butt, right? Because
Okay.
one of the effects of steroids, no butt.
sure. Your butt
Yeah.
shrink.
It's like Mark McGuire. No butt.
Nice.
But I don't know. I mean, maybe we should put it in the
Timely
chat. I mean,
reference.
there's still time. Like, which butt should this one have?
Vote for your vote. Yeah,
Hold
vote
on.
for your.
I'll screw it. I'll do it. We're an hour in, whatever.
Please, yeah, this is where you want to do it.
I mean, maybe we could do swappable butts.
Oh, Hector, you hearing that? Magnets, they just pop on. You're literally taking Venom to Brazil, and you go before Brazil and after Brazil.
Oh God, hold on.
You're describing half of the population in my hometown.
Let's see. Start a poll. What do you saying? Either or? Like what are we asking the audience?
Yeah,
right?
Alex, what kind of options would you say?
Like
butt,
Like
flat butt.
flat.
Or
thick
I
with
like
three
both.
C's. Yeah.
Well, everyone's gonna say both, right? Why wouldn't you?
Okay, so you make them choose one or the other.
Yeah.
Okay. What type of Venom butt would you prefer? Big,
A handful or
flat. I'm gonna just say big or
yeah.
flat.
There you go. That's respectful.
Because this is a risk. This is science. Okay, this is
Exactly. Anatomically speaking,
not
in fact, you might want to use the
tomfoolery.
word glutes.
It's not tomfoolery and
Yeah.
shenanigans here.
Yeah,
This
it's
is for
not,
science.
Serious stuff. This is the behind the
Serious.
scenes of toy design.
Yeah, we're doing everything for the booty.
All right. Let's see. This is a landslide.
Yeah. Okay.
Landslide.
Good. That's what you want to hear. You want to see it.
I should. Dan, you should have put this in before I put the thing out.
He's got cheek abs,
4 cheeks. He's an alien.
thwips, and claps.
Well, you've got gluteus maximus and gluteus medius.
That's
maybe
true.
they're both pretty pronounced.
Real meaty is what Alex is saying. The meatiest.
Get your votes in, people. King Panther says, hold on. This vote will determine my purchase.
You're gonna have the suit like really stretched thin there, like an old stocking. There's fibers missing.
Well, and I mean, sometimes it does, like, for the leg articulation, you do kind of have to like make sure there's room, right?
Like the
Oh, that's
threads in the
true.
suit are like the end of cliffhanger where like Stallone's like, please.
You know what's funny is I think but whenever I think of cliffhanger, I think of Ace Ventura When Nature Calls and the cliffhanger bit at the beginning.
Yeah, with the
So
record.
good.
Oh Lord.
Cinema.
All right. Let's see. 38 votes. So should we cap this at like 40 votes?
Yeah. 2 more votes and we'll decide it.
All right, 40 votes, 2 more votes, but I think it's already decided, to be honest.
Landslide.
Yeah.
All right.
Almost 2 more votes, 38 votes, 150 people watching. But I guess maybe they've decided.
It's so obvious.
Yeah, only the beefiest of butts.
Yeah.
One more vote, just one more. If you haven't done it yet, put in your vote. Mecha Manblade says I'm glad Mecha Manblade's here to be serious. Just as long as articulation isn't sacrificed.
Exactly. Like if you can articulate the cheeks on a hinge, like a butterfly hinge. So you're like and they're ratcheted, so you can go.
That's like an amazing Yamaguchi. I'm surprised they'll get there eventually.
All right, over 40 votes. I'm going to end it. Overwhelming.
Good.
88% said big. 11% said flat.
Wow. Oh,
well,
that's,
you know,
like a bunch of prudes.
Marvel is the final say. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess
we'll bring this
true.
valuable data to them.
Yeah, they're gonna have these little pincers on the figure, like on our Zoom call. Like, we want to review something here, and they're like the calipers. It's like a team of execs around the table with, like
we have gotten this down to an exact science, and it could be no more.
Yeah, based on canon.
Oh, good. Wait, yeah, where's Dan? Is the butt canon?
Yeah. Icon has canon.
Oh crap! I don't know. What are we doing here?
What else are we talking about?
We've lost the narrative. I think these we saw at TowerCon.
These. Yeah.
Anything else added here? Is it the same?
These have like rough articulation put in. Like we've developed the articulation a little bit more since these images were done. So,
but you can see from these high res slides.
Yeah.
We are thick.
And as we all know, big butts don't lie.
Yeah.
Flash. I heard flat earthers are also flat assers.
Careful with the ice wall. The nice wall. That's the difference. Got him.
Good Lord.
No, you keep going. You're gonna hit that nice wall.
Oh fuck! All right. There's my F-bomb of the night.
Got him.
Got him.
Leave it up there, Dunk.
Yeah, but no. I'm sorry, Alex. You're saying something about this and not
something important.
So let's get back on track.
Oh no, just that the articulation. We've worked on the articulation more since these images were initially done, and so I think it's even better integrated, and excited to see what people think.
This figure is a dream of my childhood. This one, I'm a Symbio guy all day long, and this one is just.
Oh, I should add on the note of articulation. These will have more articulation than our usual figures.
Okay.
Because.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because. We try to have the aesthetic and the sculpt, and that we want that to be preserved, especially at this scale, at a big scale, you really notice all the articulation cuts and stuff. So we always have the aesthetic in mind. But with a character like Spider-Man, we want you to be able to get a lot of the poses that you would want from the Spider-Man. So it won't be obviously there's insanely articulated Spider-Man figures out there where that is the primary goal. But this will, we have worked to make it so that you can get some of the iconic Spider-Man poses with him.
Yeah, that's great because I do think I like that you all put aesthetic before articulation, but Spider-Man is a unique case just because. I don't know. He's the one. He's like that for that Toy Biz figure is like, oh my god, we got 9 points or what was that?
It was like 90 or something.
Right? I don't know.
Every segment of the figure. Remember? Yeah,
that was the beginning of it all. That
was a great figure.
Everything.
It really did.
Yeah, I taught myself how to do stop motion with a digital Canon camera and that figure because you could do so many little things. It was crazy.
This won't be like that, but
for
us, and he will have toe articulation.
Boom.
Unless something happens between now and
sorry, the butt impacted the toe articulation.
We had to make a choice somewhere.
I love Real Monsters.
Yeah,
that toy line was a pretty darn good toy line as well.
Sir.
The original one.
Yep.
I guess what Is this just it's a license announcement, or do you all have stuff in mind of where this goes?
We're working on it already.
Okay.
And you can see it says each one of these slides had a little bit of information at the bottom. This one says, instead of saying 1/6 or soft vinyl, it says figure set collectibles. So,
what does that mean?
I don't want to get into too much, but if you guys remember our Rick and Morty sets that we did some years back, where it was like, some really good sized figures, and swappable parts and lots of accessories, but you get like everybody together in a set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a really cool stuff.
Yeah, and the idea is like, screen accurate on model.
Yes.
Nice.
Textures, great paints and all that, working on the smells.
Smells are important. I believe the original
Crumb.
Yeah, he had smelly armpits.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The toy did, and I was just like, I thought that was the coolest freaking thing ever.
Bro.
I was kind of too old for toys, or too old. But I was like, I still bought those because they looked great. I
had a squishy one where the eyes.
What's that?
You could put them with your real Ghostbusters. Some of those.
Pretty much. Yeah, you really could.
I had
especially Extreme Ghostbusters. They kind of had a similar aesthetic.
Yeah.
I had a plush of Crumb with the Velcro eyes you would pop off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is sick. And then, yes, Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim. It's like a Shogun style figure. I don't know if I can say that exactly, but you get what I'm talking about.
It's already done.
So
it's coming.
Yeah, exactly. Focus on the butt cheeks.
Vintage inspiration.
But yeah, so the idea on this one is that it's a 15-inch vinyl collectible, but this one's going to have the fist launching feature, swappable parts like the arms and the head. You get the guitar or the bass, I should say, that he's able to play. And it's a really, really rad aesthetic. It gives you that classic soft vinyl Japanese aesthetic, and but it fits so well with the designs of Scott Pilgrim. So it's like a perfect match.
Yep. Yeah.
It
looks super duper cool. All right. Is that, there's probably more stuff, but good Lord, we've been talking about an hour and a half. Anything else you all want to talk about before we wrap this bad boy up?
Do we miss anything else? There's so much.
There's
so much.
Have we shown the Colossus Juggernaut before?
Oh, yeah. Is there a picture of that anywhere? I don't know if that made it onto anybody's site, but we announced 2 different Colossus variants.
Come on, toy shiz. What are we?
2 different Juggernaut variants. So there's
Juggernaut variants. Yes.
Of the soft vinyl Juggernaut.
Yes.
You've got one that's like the black costume, and then one that is the Colossus Juggernaut.
Yes.
When Colossus has the gem.
I believe you had slides of him for PowerCon, right?
Probably.
One?
Yeah. You can go. You can go see it on the Mondo Instagram. There's a booth tour that I did with Hector, and you can see them there. We talked and showed them off there.
Nice.
But they're awesome. They're huge, and they're not. They weren't supposed to be something that fits with your 1/6 scale figures, but they look really good next to them. We'll say that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good Lord. You all been killing it. 2024 is looking mighty nice and also mighty expensive.
That's the other it's good that you bring that up, because this stuff is we're cognizant of the pace and the pressure on everyone. So.
Yeah. It's hard to balance capitalism with I just want the thing.
I know.
And I'm able to afford it or whatever.
I don't know about you. I don't know what type of collector you are. I think, Jay, you're more in line with me on this. And I don't know, Alex, where you stand, but I'm a guy who likes to get whatever figure from whatever line that just pops out to me. I don't have all the Super 7 Ultimates, but I was not missing out on Muckman, and I was not missing out on Ray Fillet. Those 2 I just had to have. And they're sitting there next to, I don't know what else, like some Skeletor figure or whatever it is. To me, so I like getting something from all the different lines that just call out to me. I've never been a completionist, but yeah.
No, I think for me, I like a grouping. I like a group.
Yeah.
I need a group together.
How many makes a group?
I don't know. I think it depends.
That shelf behind you is pretty diverse.
This is my area for onesies, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you have another area in the house?
No, so everywhere else is pretty much grouped around a play set or a vehicle or something. Like I want a scene of some sort.
Got it.
But this is where it's like if I can't group you, you're probably over here.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna have another Pinocchio figure. So it's like you're here, but
right.
Forever.
The miscellaneous shelf.
And then Turbo Man. Like I'm not gonna get Buster. No Booster. Nobody wants Booster.
Yeah, Booster's trash.
Booster's trash.
Oh, this is someone just asked Matt this figure. Yeah, this is Takuro. This is the Mondo exclusive colorway we showed up at Dcon. So this is my character, Takuro. He's an octopus kaiju type creature. So he's got like a removable clear dome. This was just designed originally. If I can make a perfect toy, what would he look like for me? And so then I, worked with Skybound, Robert Kirkman's company, and we created a whole story around it. The book I'm working on right now. So we did a Kickstarter last year. There's a black and white figure that we did through the Kickstarter, and this colorway, super limited, but it's going to come out through Mondo. It's called the Vice City Rage edition. So he's got
that's my jam.
Yeah, right. Because he's the first kaiju from Miami. That's where the story takes place. And so when he gets lit up, he gets turned out like this. So right in time for GTA 6, I think. And the cool. It's
GTA
a soft
6
vinyl.
is until 25. Right? Is that when it's coming out in 25?
It's like an appetizer. Yeah, this will hold you over.
Well in time.
Yeah, this anybody who buys GTA 6, you want to buy this is what we're saying. Same thing, but yeah, it's cool. It's like a soft vinyl figure, but it's got the articulation. He's got the posable tentacles all the way around the head. He's a really cool figure, man. And he looks like a lino cut, especially that paint app back there is pretty sick. Yeah,
it's so awesome.
Cool.
Takuro, man, he's a good dude.
And is Takuro gonna have like villains?
Yeah. In the book, he is. We'll see if the figures come out. Settle down, Alex. Don't fucking.
Like Man Blade says, I was thinking he looks like someone the Power Rangers would.
Yes,
definitely.
That's a good compliment.
Kind of yeah. All right, well, gentlemen, I think that about wraps it. Thanks for coming on, because I know you all have been freaking busy. You did a convention. Jumping on all of the other friends of this channel this past week. But thank you for coming and hang out and talking, because I was just I just want to hang out with y'all and catch up. Because I had a little bit of FOMO. I wasn't at the convention this weekend.
Well, you were at PowerCon.
Yeah,
people FOMO'd you because Toy Anxiety has no respect for PowerCon, so they didn't show up to that.
They actually are anti PowerCon. They've said so, I believe. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that tracks. So the fact that you were there, you had that. They went to the industry show because they're like an industry type show. They're very corporate.
Very corporate.
Yeah, which is fine. Corporate. You got to have that angle too. Good for them.
But yeah, any plugs, anything you want to plug? I mean, this whole episode was plugging, but
Orco comes out January, so right when we get back from break, we're gonna have a Mondo toy talk like we did for Panther.
Awesome.
Rindle. And
Rindle is so pissed the whole time. Like any update I had from PowerCon, I was like, "Oh, we should have been there."
Yeah, that would be awesome. To have a show. I mean, you guys were all at Comic-Con. That show's so crazy, but it'd be awesome to have another show where everybody shows up like that. But yeah, Orco in January, we're gonna do another toy talk on Mondo's YouTube channel.
Awesome.
Just to kind of go through everything and talk about all the details. It'll be a timed edition, so everybody will have a chance to get it. All you have to do is use that device that has all the features like programmable calendars and reminders and ringtones and all those things, and you'll be able to remember at some point in that window to grab an Orco. So yeah, Orco will be coming up, and then we're gonna be going strong. I don't know if did we say when Tila's going up?
If it was said, it was during Toy Anxiety, so you can
I know it's
see if Hector said it.
He texted it to me, so I want to say it's April, and so
I think April's right. April is right.
Okay, good. So it's we're gonna have those figures coming out little by little, spreading. We're trying to spread out the lines, so that Orco is 3 months away from Tila.
The thing is, if you start doing multiple lines, you're screwed because it's every month.
Yeah, that is tough. So, that is tough. That's tough. That's why I do my must-have characters. That's my taste. That's my taste. I don't have every character from every line, and I work here, but I for space's sake, even I have one from here, one from. That's how I like to collect personally. Yeah. So yeah, man.
And then Worms coming up.
Pretty much. That's it. You hit it. You got Hector convinced though. He chimed in the chat about
he
it.
was excited.
We hadn't thought about it, to be honest with you. Like, he slipped our minds, and I love that guy. So
because he does, like, he fit big head.
Yeah,
all
look at
his
that.
gruesomeness.
100%. That little tentacle arm leg
Yeah, the
thing.
tentacle arm.
Yeah. It's really strong.
It's perfect. It's perfect. And then Alex, when we're gonna see those Ghostbuster figures? Oh, sorry, we have to end the show on that. No,
Yeah, you're gonna see the.
Yeah.
Is
You're
that
gonna
like
show
a
just
movie or
that.
something?
Wait.
A vacuum cleaner.
We cut out. But anyway, I guess follow you on your socials. Attack Peter. You're at Attack Peter on Facebook, Twitter. Instagram.
Yeah, everything is at Attack Peter on YouTube. Actually, since you guys hang out on YouTube, we have a YouTube show. It's every other week. We go live on Wednesdays right before Dole's show. We try to end it right before Ryan. Sometimes it goes over a little bit, but I carve live artwork on the show. Gabby, my wife, and I talk about like fun topics, and like last night we were talking about terrible gifts to get your spouse for Christmas. Like, don't get this stuff, and so I think that's helpful.
It's good. That is educational and powerful content for sure.
The week before we did like what not to eat on a first date. There's some shit that'll blow your mind that people will eat on a first date, so we covered that. It's pretty good.
God, I haven't done a first date in almost 20 years.
Yeah, you should see what people are eating nowadays. Just silicone chips. Integrate with the machines.
Alex, are you Fan Plastic 4 and everything, or mainly Instagram? Or
I'm just on Instagram. So
okay,
you can,
that's honestly the best one.
Yeah,
I will plug that Mondo has a YouTube channel as well.
That's right.
So if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet,
I gotta pull up the Mondo's YouTube channel name because I always get confused with our socials. I think it's Mondo. If I'm right here, let me see here because I forget.
I don't think I'm.
It's not Mondo. I'll tell you that. Yeah. There's another dude with a channel.
Can I show up if you put in /Mondo? It's Mondo Sport. Who the heck is this jerk? I'm sure they're a perfectly fine person.
Yeah, I tried reaching out to them. Let me see. I'll get it now.
Could it be like Mondo? It's like Mondo Shop, I think.
It's okay. Here it is.
At Mondo Shop. On
Mondo
YouTube.
Shop.
It is. Try pulling that up. Is that what it is?
Mondo Shop.
Yeah, Mondo Shop on YouTube. Yeah, we're almost at 5,000 subscribers.
Hold on, I'll give you right now. Hold on. Subscribe. And
nice.
I'm going to hit the bell.
There you go. So yeah,
in the future, it's going to be a good way to find out about new upcoming releases and more content and stuff.
And that's where you can get Hector to talk because he gets super excited. He's like, "Oh my god, we're live! Like, I gotta say something fun," and wild stuff comes out. So he gets really nuts.
Well, please go subscribe to Mondo Shop, the YouTube channel. And then you guys just have to start doing your own live stream like once a week.
Yeah, well, I think we would love to get to that point, but we're definitely targeting once a month, and then that way, then we don't want to take the thunder from you guys. Imagine us streaming that often. Who's gonna watch anything?
You
else?
don't know how YouTube works. Like, you could view a live stream about toys any hour of any day.
It's true, but this is what we're gonna do. Watch, this is the plan. We're gonna go on once a month, probably.
Yeah.
At first, we're gonna drop a bunch of information. Yeah. And then Jay, you run with it. Toy Anxiety, you run with it. You know,
make stuff up. That's perfect, actually.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. That's what's fun. Like, we say things and you fill in the gaps with whatever conspiracy theory you come up with. That's how the internet works.
And on that note, thank you so much for hanging out tonight, Peter and Alex. Always a pleasure to hang and talk with y'all. Again, amazing stuff that you all did. Stay tuned to all of the Mondo social channels so you don't miss any of it. And what's coming up on this channel? Oh, I got the Super 7 Turtle van, ladies and gentlemen. So that video, I did the NECA versus UA. Now we got it all three. NECA versus UA and that Super 7 Party Wagon. That video should be coming up next week.
That's a must watch.
Also, I got the full set of Turtles of Gray Skull. So that video's coming soon. A lot of big videos coming up. This is, I think, the last. I'm going to do a Patreon thing. This is the last episode that can be on the channel before Christmas. So for those who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all the holidays that are being celebrated out there right now. I believe today's the winter solstice.
And thank you for saying so. We celebrate in the house. Yeah.
Yeah,
And my family's all pagan.
It's kind of like the reason why there is a season is because of the solstice.
Your Patreon episode right there.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody, take care. We have a wonderful holidays. And we will see you next time.
The reason for the season. The comments you're gonna get now.
Well, I'm just saying, historically, it's why.
Oh Jesus, he's walking into that.
The winter solstice. Merry Christmas, everybody. Till next time, hasta luego, and goodbye.
Focus on the butt.